What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 7 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Grimgor Ironhide campaign. So as we saw last time, we have moved our way through the former lands of the Chevalier de Lyonesse, who were forced by virtue of Rapunzel's losses to confederate with the main Krump faction. In a foolish or perhaps merely an orky move, I went and declared war on Krump by getting the WAAAGH activated on them and sort of accidentally put us into a war with an additional few Bretonnian factions. The Bordelot Errant, Krump, and Carcassonne have joined the fray, and we're at war with basically everyone around our landing point, which is very neat and very orky, but it will mean that we'll need more armies here. And, well, they're coming, but our money situation is still somewhat dire at the current time. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time around, Grimgor's gonna head over to Castelangui and take it, and then perhaps move to Krump while our Gabo army moves southward and tries to defend against Claude Becker of Sigmarsheim here, and, well, I guess whatever else crosses our borders. We are getting a little bit closer to Grom the Paunch. He's all the way down here, but it'll still take a fair few territories before we make it down to him. Of course, we could send a hero, but, well, I think in the fullness of time, or a few territories, and we'll be able to see his territories, so may not be needed. Anyway, before we get started, looks like we once again were able to reach the engagement threshold, and thus this episode will continue to be an hour long, and the offer does stand, though let's lower the threshold to say 300 comments, no, 300 likes, not quite, I made that same mistake before, 300 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will follow the hour-long format for those into that sort of thing. Anyway, let's get started here. Arachnic Spiderclaw, you are... oh. You know what, let's move into Trogland and thus save us about 250 gold over that turn, then we'll hit up that shipwreck. And next turn, also appreciate the names for the biggins that I requested over our last episode, and we'll probably transfer them to these guys once they get into their first fight. And now, how about some name for all those Forest Goblin Spider Rider archers? Now, there's plenty of them to name here after all. And probably not as many of the regular Forest Goblin Spider Riders, as their numbers will be limited and will be replaced in part by Arachnaroks and by a few more goblin big bosses, but we shall see. Everything else is looking good this turn, so I guess we've got buildings to build, and you know what I wanted to check? I do notice that the Blessed Dread does want a peace treaty, huh? A non-aggression... oh, I just had another idea. Now, I was thinking that Merton probably won't hold here against Mr. Claude Becker. You know what we can do? We got access to the Crimson Killers last time, and we have to get them to Grimgor anyway, but we can't recruit them in his army, at least at the current time. So let's say we get this guy, Strategist, with a campaign movement range, and we recruit the Crimson Killers here for 4,000 gold. Crazy. And we'll use them to defend against this stack, considering how hard they should be to take down with their stats. 68, 35, 85, very nice. And they got area attacks as well. Hopefully they can hold off against this army and then transfer to Grimgor. Alright, I will, you know what, just while we're here, we should also level you up, sir. Oh, gotta get a few more of these orc war bosses. I gotta love their armor, eh? They're pretty nice. Are all orc war bosses shield and sword? I'd like some with a big old two-handed chopper like Grimgor. You can have inspiring presence for this defense. I hope that this works, because otherwise it's a horrific waste of a very expensive summon of or a regiment of renown. Of course, they'll come back in a few turns, which is why we don't care that much, but care a little still. Let's spend a little money. We can't afford anything at the Whale Coast right now. The Lost Road. I guess we can upgrade... yeah, we can upgrade the Orky Dwellings here. Yeah, go for it. And let's see, Plain of Bones. Yeah, we can upgrade the Horde for more money. Ooh, our money be dropping. What do we have here? Oh, we were going to get the Squig building. Alright, we'll hold off on that, though. And Conquata, let us at least temporarily get the pile of shiny stuff, and though I may replace it with some stuff later. And let's get the Gabo tents. may replace it with capacity stuff, mostly because this is a 2 settlement territory, so it's never going to make as much money as the 3 and 4 settlements. Yeah, anyway, that's about all the cash we have, and I think we're going to at least temporarily non-aggress with Loke here. He does have a few things that could be useful to us, namely regular Hydras, which, hey, free money. The regular Hydras, which we can mix with the feral Hydras that we get out of our WAAAGH units. And he does have Charybdises, Black Dragons, and the Bloodwrack Cauldrons, which do the buffs for the melee troops, which could be nice as well, especially combining with the various river trolls. Might be a nice combination. Hags and hags of various types as well, if we get some of those... well, I guess we can't get death hags, but nonetheless, my confusion will continue. Anyway, now I think we're good. We may betray Loke here later, but at this current time, we've got enough Bretonnian factions on our hands to be getting on with. I think we're ready to end the turn. Let's see if this guy attacks. I'm willing to bet that he will. It's only a single unit in Lord after all. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing else that we can do right now, which means we end the turn. Yeah. Alrighty. Trait gained musterer for UGG, that's nice, even more recruitment cost reduction. Can't complain about that. And let's see, 49, 51, okay, there's Kuran and Bordelot. Okay, we're not going to get attacked by any of them at the current time, but we are indeed going to get attacked by Mr. Claude Becker. We should be able to defend this. I don't see them easily bringing down those Crimson Killers, but I do think that this might be worth a fight. It looks like a pretty fun one. Let's get to it. Huh. Well, the Sork War Boss didn't seem to want to say anything either. I guess he takes after Grimgor, and in some ways looks pretty great though. Oh, I like the wyvern cape thing, that cape/pauldron that he's got going on there. Very nice, Mr. Gutstab. I expect great things from you, if you should survive. Now, how are we going to handle this? First of all, I hadn't realized that the enemy army was, well, if not elite, at the very least high veterancy, with primarily levels 5 and 6 on their troops. On the bright side, they did play into our hands a little bit by deploying half their army on one side and half on the other. We have done the same and have deployed 6 boys, or rather 4 regular orc boys and 2 orc biggins, with all 4 of our units of boar boys, I should say, behind them. We're going to orc rush all of the enemies here in order to lock them in melee and allow our 4 units of boar boys to absolutely wreck face in the back lines and destroy all 6 of these units of enemy range. Whether that works out remains to be seen, but I'm reasonably hopeful, as I doubt that the crossbows and the like would stand too much of a chance against the boar boys. Anyway, here we go, regular boys and biggins charging forth towards those halberdiers. I do like the color scheme on these guys, though, and nice and bright and visible. And no accusation of camouflage being the color of fear here, although I guess they might blend into the grassland. Anyway, a boar boy is going to try to get around the side of the enemy and are moving in to fight the enemy archers and crossbows and huntsmen, and it looks like we have engaged them. We also have a basic level 1 tower here as well, just doing a little bit of help. I do wish it wasn't such a shadowed map, but we can see a decent amount of stuff, so not a huge deal. Anyway, halberdiers are certainly holding their own, and so are the swordsmen, but it's the halberdiers, I think, that are the more threatening unit. 44 and 50 on their melee stats, plus armor piercing, so pretty darn good at their current veterancy level. Over here, the enemy main army, or main portion of their army that they didn't deploy on the other side, is halberdiers making their way forward, but we have a unit of orc boys together with the Crimson Killers, who will hopefully hold off this ramp, and a tier 4 tower here as well. I'm not entirely sure that maybe I should have built the tier 4 tower over on this side instead, but this, I guess, is more important, as long as the Crimson Killers hold, the entire force holds. Anyway, the big WAAAGH comes down, and we have the buff on all of our orc boys, so hopefully they'll get a little bit better in killing off those halberdiers. And though once again the latter are still holding fairly admirably here. And I guess in many ways the battle has just begun, though it has ended for a few of the enemy range units, which have broken and or shattered in the background. Of course, we will have to do our best to run them down. Same thing going on over here. The back lines are very much in trouble against those boar boys, and considering we're looking to build a boar boy army soon, I guess this can be considered a little bit of a preview for how it'll function. Though with a lot more boar boys and boar boy biggins than the 4 that we have here. These are regular ones, right? Yeah, they're not biggins. So they're considerably weaker as well. Alright, well the enemy archers are dead, the halberdiers still holding, and frankly, not holding anymore, or at least not holding anymore on this side. There are 2 units of halberdiers here, however, and it looks like they've nearly destroyed one of the units of orc boys, though fortunately this being a defensive unit, we don't care as much. Looks like a few of the enemy units are getting closer, and a unit of halberdiers here and got absolutely ripped apart by range fire from our 4 units of error boys. Haven't been really using range too much in this campaign, at least not yet, but not to worry. I do plan to build an orky range army, and just to see how it functions a little bit later on, with primarily or pretty much all artillery and archers, and we'll see what it can do later. Anyway, the tower is firing, and the 4 units of air boys are doing pretty good at knocking those swordsmen out. It looks like even if they do reach the orc boys here, they'll be so damaged and they will not be a threat. Very, very nice. Though the enemy does still have plenty more where that came from, at least on the main portion of the map. Halberdiers still facing off against the boys and biggins on this side. Been going on for a while now, and it's a great little melee, I gotta say. 4 minutes, I suppose, 3 minutes of straight up battle between those units, and you gotta love SFO for this sort of thing. In vanilla, all of these units would have long before destroyed each other and or routed. And I like these longer battles, especially with melee infantry versus melee infantry. Anyway, let's check back on what's going on here. It looks like the enemy lord has charged through foolishly to allow the Crimson Killers to attack him. Oh, Crimson Killers... Wait. Yeah, they also have dual axes. Wait, those are some big old dual axes. Huh. Yeah, they're using 2 great axes. Okay, I was confused. I was like, wait, but these guys are great axe infantry, but they're using 2 axes. They're just 2 really big axes. Fair enough, game. Fair enough. And the enemy lord did not enjoy moving into the pile of Crimson Killers and our war boss whatsoever, and it looks like he'll be brought down soon. Sorry for the somewhat wonky camera work here, though the lord does go down. It's a little bit hard in the minor settlements due to the buildings forcing the camera to jump up and down. Anyway, now the Crimson Killers and the Orc boys are holding off what the units of infantry try to move on in, though I just don't see them breaking through these Black Orcs. I'm very much enjoying these guys' work. The blood red armor is really doing it for me. And I'm kind of wishing we had a few more of these guys. These guys remind me of 40k a lot more than Fantasy for some reason. That's because they're so bright and colorful in their armor. 40k orcs are also a lot more jolly than Fantasy orcs are. I do enjoy them both quite a bit. Though they are different. Anyway, let's see how we're doing over here. There's another unit of swordsmen and another unit of halberds to deal with, but not all that much more. Our boar boys have finished up with the infantry that we sallied out and destroyed over on this side, and are going to head out to try to catch the enemy crossbows, which are preemptively running. A summoned unit of orc biggins is also rushing after this unit of crossbows and preventing it from doing anything else, and now it's just a matter of watching the Crimson Killers and destroy whatever is left of the enemy army. There we go. Alrighty, and it looks like the enemy are turning. The bounce power is about 80% in our favor, and just a few more to wade into. Alright, oh, just hacking those poor halberdiers and crossbows and whatever apart. Very, very nice. Alright, I'm glad we summoned this unit. It cost an insane amount of money, but it was worth it just to see them fight. And of course they had to join Grimgor's army anyway, but they certainly showed their capabilities here. I will be interested to see how they compare to the Immortals in terms of their killing capabilities as they all get maxed out. Anyway, with that, it looks like the enemy army has shattered and the battle is in fact ours. We're going to do a little bit of chasing off because we want to destroy as many of the enemy as possible, but we can do that off screen. Really didn't take that much damage by the looks of it either, did we? Let's find out. One unit of halberdiers survived, but yeah, very nice, very nice. Got ourselves a pretty sword of strife out of it, and generally a very decent little fight. We actually didn't take near as much damage as I thought we would, and it looks like the Crimson Killers, though they did certainly show up, they weren't really necessary here. Huh, interesting. I guess I slightly overestimated the Empire army, but it's okay. Let's grab that ransom captives to get a little bit of the cash back, and that we wasted on that. We'll destroy the other army, and then we'll head over to transfer those killers to Grimgor. Minus 714, and once we lose that 865, it'll be even more. Ouch. As Swindler for Gorkill, the Sword of Strife, and there's those sharper stabbers rather, for the Goblin and Night Goblin and Pump Wagon buffs. War Machine Focus means I probably could have made War Machines cheaper. Manblight Tribe, eh? Huh. They would run if Grimgor attacked them. We could easily auto-resolve that. I'm just wondering if... There's a decent amount of troops at Longyi. They do have Knights of the Realm and such. If we could destroy this and then head back into the battle... But they would run. Okay, wait, let's see if we can figure this out. First of all, you, into March stance, go to the island here. This is a mysterious island, okay. We will grab, let's say, I don't know, those who escaped. Favorable winds, okay, that works. And that works, you're going to move out and you're going to get to the Barley Motte. We're losing 2,000 gold per turn now, which is pretty crazy, so yeah, this needs to be fixed immediately. Gorkill, oh, is that another army? You gotta be kidding me. If you could move here, would you still be able to reach Barfleur, I wonder? Oh, let's hope. Because that's what we're gonna do. Ooh, let's get you a Root Marcher. Like so. I don't know if it... Oh, does it work on the same turn that you get it? I don't know. Kill this, and Decisive Victory. This better not hurt our Crimson Killers. And 13 of them lost to that. But we did get a Potion of Healing. Still, I'm a little bit salty about that. And we can't really heal them up, can we? Oh, game, why you do this? Alright, eat the captives, maybe we can recover one of them. I shouldn't have auto-resolved. Never trust the auto-resolve, folks. That's another lesson. Alright, enemy killed in battle. You are going to not keep these items, mostly because I'm not sure you'll survive another fight. Let's send you to Barfleur, and I guess you're going to defend that before heading to Grimgor. Oh, actually, there's a bunch of huntsmen here which we're not afraid of, though on the other hand, Barfleur has a weaker defenses than Merton does. It has no biggins, in fact. Yeah, the 2 units of biggins are lost, and 2 units of Night Goblin archers rather than Orc Error boys. That's... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. There's another... Oh. Okay, yeah, now you're actually not going to be able to hold that. But we can't afford more stuff right now. Alright, let's think about this. Thinkings must be done. Alright, first of all, ignoring all of this, Arachnic Spiderclaw, grab this shipwreck. What do we have here? Explore the island, and yeah, we can auto-resolve that, and we can also take the money. Yeah, take the money. We need it. Every little bit of cash counts now, and is that another island to the south of us here? No, I am seeing things, apparently. Got some Snotling Scavengers, which is nice, and an 8,000 for our treasury. Okay, a little bit less concerning. Arachnic... Wait, what? Did one of you get the Snotlings? Yes, okay, we have to give that to the main lord. Oh, I should have given you a Swindler before doing that. Which, unfortunately, apparently don't work on the... Just see here, post-battle chance of stealing... Doesn't work on heroes, but oh well, what can you do? Alright, Arachnic. Full speed. You are a legend, so I might give you the Armor of Destiny, or at least once you're on that Catchweb Spider Shrine. And march speed, march stance, to the coast of Albion. We'll go via the coastline here. And just keep an eye out on additional islands, just in case. Would be nice to run into a few. You are still recruiting, sir. And for another turn, I believe you're still recruiting as well. You are going to join this army to train it, and then you are going to transfer in this Doom Diver Catapult. And there we go, 1959, eh? I am disinclined to lose those boar boys, but what I am inclined to do is send them to the Mudflats for now to reduce the upkeep by forcing them to be garrisoned, unless... Serial Dance, I was wondering whether we should be sending you out to be the Lord. But not right now. Upgrade that great Greenskin shipyard. Let's see about the other stuff. Grimgor. I think we can't afford to go into any kind of stances. Kill this Beastman tribe. Just auto-resolve it. Oh, they do kind of like us. But we can't trust the... You can't trust the Beastmen. Just destroy them. And if we can get them to not run away far enough... we should be able to get a decent amount of cash for them. They'll run... Don't run too far. Don't run too far. Nah, get back here. Okay, good. We're just going to auto-resolve this because their troops are garbage. It will mean Grimgor won't be able to hit Castle Longhi this turn, but whatever. Auto-resolve... Oh, that's the WAAAGH. Yeah, that's fine. Auto-resolve. I guess that it will be another turn to WAAAGH. Like so. And ransom those captives. Oh, we may want to heal. We're fine. Ransom captives. Despite the loss in fightiness, I guess. Another Swindler and another Swindler. It's all Swindlers. And we'll then move... we can switch to raiding camp, so go... Oh, we can't go into enemy territory. We can't go into enemy territory right now, can we? Alright, go into march stance, then go into enemy territory. Make your army a lot less expensive due to the current fastest stance. And no, you can go into raiding camp. Well, then you're fine. Alright, that eases the pain slightly. And just slightly, but just enough. Alright, Ugh, your recruiting and everybody else is, I believe, done, so we're ready to go next turn. Let's also double check what buildings we can afford without screwing ourselves over too hard. Whale Coast will be ignored. Piles of scrap here, and yeah, fine. These are cheap upgrades. And we can build them up. Gotta get those towers up and running. Mega Towers, same to you, and soon we'll need to lose this boss pole. In fact, I'm inclined to say... Perhaps we should lose it right now. Replace it with the Horde and get more money. Muddy Point, we have... Ooh, our first Tier 5 Goblin Metropolis. Expensive, but I think perhaps worth starting on. Very nice, and what else were we gonna get here? I mean, technically we want raiding stashes everywhere. We also want the shaman thing and maybe even the goblin tinkerer. And this is going to be our main military hub, even if it does have a shipyard and could make decent cash if we built it out to do so. You know what, for now it's our military hub, so we're still probably going to build it up as one. Citadel of Lead, I was going to build a squig cage here, so squig cage we shall go. Lost Valley, I guess we could upgrade that boss's camp. We do want more of those spider-riding goblin bosses. Longi Friggin, I guess we build the Goblin Watch. You know what, just stay as you are. Rapunz is back and she's probably going to take you over. We'll have to have Grimgor kill her again. Wait, he didn't get the defeat trait for her, did he? So, I mean, it's not that great anyway. If she does go for Friggin, we'll deal with her. Leoness kills Dasson. I guess we also, but no, you know what? Gotta go for the boss's tent here, so that we can at least collect some income, because we're gonna need it. And Leoness, you're otherwise fine. Trogland, we will wait to build the other stuff, and I guess we're good. Let's get new techs up and running. I'm gonna hold off on Oglog the Terrible for now, Oglok, just because we can't afford him. But let's see about some scrappy stuff. Armor piercing for Savage Orc Cavalry specifically. Ammunition for missile infantry, missile strength for missile infantry. We got, ooh, Egamon's not bad. Casualty or punishment trait, leadership and physical resistance for goblins. I think that's the one. Don't care about the wolf buffs for now. We do care about the spider buffs, but not yet. We will once they arrive. And there's some good Ogabo upgrades here, and use them and abuse them, but we also don't want to pay the 5k, so. And that's it for this turn, unless I'm mistaken. Grimgor, you cannot level up. Your heroes can, but that can also be ignored. I guess this is the main issue. Never. You're probably going to get attacked by 2 armies. You know what? Here's what we'll do. We will summon 2 super squigs. They're the explodey types. They're like bloated corpses. So we'll use you to... Oh, 2,000 gold for that. But at least it'll ensure that our investment in the Crimson Killers won't go to waste. Let's do that. We'll end the turn. Presumably these guys will attack. We'll pop them with them squigs. And then hopefully we'll be able to transfer to Crimson Killers. Alright, now Rapunz. Are you going to move in that? Yes, indeed. You'll move to Friggin. Let's hope you take it over, because Grimgor will destroy you. No, you're going to sack it. But will you be able to get far enough away from Grimgor? We shall see. A heroic victory? Yeah, this is frankly... You know what? I think I'm going to auto-resolve this. This is a similar battle to that we fought last time. And frankly, it'll be easier, because we now have the explodey squigs, and frankly, they have a lot more huntsmen rather than crossbows, and not that much in the way of melee. Not worth our time. Auto-resolve and take, once again, the cash. We don't care about fighting us in this little mini-army. Not to worry, we'll see exploding squigs at some point. That one was just not worth it. Income from raiding for Grimgor? Great, I guess. He won't be raiding too much, but, you know, here and there, periodically. Settlement sacked for gun, enemy killed in battle. Warboar for gore kill already. Now Rapunz. Yeah, she's kinda sticking far enough away from us to be kind of annoying here. And, really? That's... What the heck? Grimgor, you should be able to move way far... Whoa. Huh. His movement range is bugged. Look at that. 100? It should be like 200 something. He currently has a massive increase to movement range, or at least he should, but he's not getting any. Weird. Let me just see here. He has a 10% movement range via something, then he should have another 20% via 25% via Hurry Up, so he should have plus 35%, then another 20%, and then another 4% from Imperium Power, and then another 20% from Du Bois are distracted trading their stuff with each other. And I think there's another thing. Ah, yes, and the Prophet gives us another 10%. So he should have, like, way, way more than 100 points. Huh. I wonder what did this. Is everybody else bugged? No, you're at 175 now. That's because you're in March stance. Hey, you're also bugged. What the heck? No, I've been stacking movement range. Okay, this guy's still at 224. Why? What is going on here? You're in our territory. I don't know why. Damn, that's a real shame. Also, it looks like Renee de Sauveterre is heading towards Dassault. Can she take it? I don't think so. At least I doubt it. Is there breaches in the walls? No, even with the limited amount of troops we have there, we'll be fine. You can head to Barley Mutt and take it over and then head southward to deal with the response. Auto-resolve this, obviously, because it's garbage, and we'll occupy it. Yeah. Alright, another swindler. Okay, every single turn we're gonna get swindlers. I guess at least we'll be able to sell some of them off. Barley Mutt, does iron, yes, upkeep reduction faction-wide for Black Orcs and Biggins. Meaning, we're going to want to try to rack up as many of these Black Orc forges or as much iron as possible, which I guess is true for many campaigns. Let's get the defenses up here with the Goblin Watchtower. Not forever, but for now. And I'm not gonna bother upgrading you at least. Well, you know what? 1,600 money. I think we're okay. And it's deep enough into the territory to be not super concerning, let's say. Grimgor, can you get into WAAAGH stance? Yeah, do that. Let's get a little bit of extra XP for Castlongi. Now it's undefended, so we will be able to auto-resolve it. This is not worth fighting for Grimgor's Black Orc Horde. Oh my lord, what the heck did you do to the Giants? Okay, looks like the auto-resolve really does not like giants. Occupy. Well, hopefully we don't get attacked by massive piles of enemies, though it's a distinct possibility. All three of these might attack. Well, if they do, we'll have to do it without the giants. We'll leave Longyi in case they siege us, like so. And we're gonna go into Raiden camp. This is going to make the settlement unhappy, but that's fine. We do... Oh. We have a Tinkerer's Workshop here already in Gloomy Hollows, but this should be a money-making province, because look, it's 4 territories. Probably going to be one of our main money-making provinces, in fact. I mean, really, every port... Kurun as well, but, yeah. And we can increase the amount of money made by the raiding stashes by quite a lot by that method. Do you stay at Barfleur and defend it in case Rapunzel comes along? Or do you transfer stuff to Grimgor? I think you stay. I think you stay, it's safer. Okay, well, you stay then. Krigabeard, Teika, and Co. You guys are done recruitment, so you're going to transfer now. 15. You have 6 units. Oh, I miscalculated something. And I guess we have to figure out what unit... Oh, I guess we can take out the Moon Howlers because they wouldn't fit in this army anyway. Yeah, that's fine. Who is the lord that is going to carry this army around? I guess it'll be you. Mushroom Addicted, unless we can get another lord that has... No, we have another Mushroom Addicted one, but yeah. I was hoping for Shroom Grower, but oh well. Take all this, or transfer it all for now. Take away the Moon Howlers. Alright, that'll make it cost a little bit less, and the army will be ready to go next turn, and we'll sail it out. No, don't raid your own territory. I didn't mean to do that. And the rest of you are waiting to get our Boar Boy army up and running. Oh, there is another island here, but you know what? We'll send this army to pick it up while Ragnik has other places to be. We're going to move him along the coastline like this so that he doesn't suffer attrition, and then we'll go this way to cross the shortest, hopefully, attrition distance. Not that he's going to be too afraid of attrition, mind you, but at the same time, this army isn't crazy strong. Quell the animosity, because it does matter for the spider army. And I believe, unless there's buildings to build, which very well could be the case, we're good for this turn. Alright. Alright, buildings and such. Whale Coast still too expensive, good sir, and thus we're gonna ignore Newland. I guess we will build the Horde building here, pile of shiny stuff. Technically we need to build it here and here as well, but I think we want to maintain the boss poles until everything's nice and grown. You are going to get that Shaman's Hut, and I guess we're ignoring this stuff here. And we'll go build a Goblin Toolbox here as well. Want to be able to build pretty much everything in this territory. Citadel of Lead. And you can upgrade your boss's camp. Yeah, sure, go for it. Why not? Are you in Camp Ruckus? Indeed you are, Lost Valley. Get that heap of shiny stuff. Leonis, you are good. And Longi, you are, well, you're ignored, let's say. Let's also start building a basic ditch here, as well as another basic boss's tent. Just to collect the income. And we'll probably want to get rid of this goblin toolbox right now. I'm not so sure. Nah, we'll need to get rid of this as well. It'll be a money-making territory after all, and while I'm sure we will build some capacity stuff, it won't be that stuff. Low fightiness is for UGG. UGG won't be carrying the army, though. Your fightiness matters, Mr. Knobber. And Garrison Lord Not Moon and assign skill points building, damage building, commandment does matter. And here we want to brag about the boss to increase our movement range, which we, I believe, already have here. So, oh, that's why Gorkil can move so far. Well, let's hope he doesn't need to over the next turn. Let us get you Blade Master and Deadly Blade. And hope you survive if Rapunzel attacks you. Though, you know. We'll see. Blessed Dread don't want any kind of alliance, but that works for us. We could temporarily peace out with Longi and leave Krasgar and Castle Artois to them while we destroy their allies. They're willing to pay us 4.6k for it. You know what, I think that might be worth it. I mean, sure, they're not very strong right now, but we could take turns to cripple Kurun and destroy the Sigmarsheim faction, rather than having to fight on like 50,000 fronts. Plus, we need the money. Alright, good. We are losing nearly 2k per turn, and our Y is over here after all. End turn, please. Now let's see what Rapunzel does. Let's see if these guys, all of their armies, decide to attack Rapunzel. Or not attack Rapunzel, well, attack Grimgor. Kurun. What is this? Luen Leon Kerr. Oh my. Oh my. Valiant defeat. Luen himself has arrived. I was not expecting that. And he does have Henri Le Massif in the army here as well. Couple legends. 3. Henri Le Massif should also count as a legend, but yeah. And we've got Luen and Rapunzel against us, and we can't use our giants. We're essentially going to have to take them off the map immediately or they'll die. Our wall leaves something to be desired as well. And our Black Orcs are damaged. Well, this will be a fight for your life, Grimgor and Black Orcs. Get to it. That's the kind of fight he likes anyway. I should have leveled up these guys, but whatever. Alrighty, here we go. Luen has truly threatened us with a good time. 2 legendary lords to face off against for Grimgor, and so many enemies while we're hurt. Hurt to the point that we can't use our giants and we'll be sending them to withdraw off screen lest they get insta-killed by something. And our damaged units of Black Orcs and Biggins are going to have to make their way through just absolute droves of enemies. Lots of battle pilgrims I see as well, so they will fight to the death regardless of what happens to the rest of the enemy forces, and an absolutely massive number of troops overall. Plenty of knights to deal with as well, and Luen, who hits just as hard, well, almost as hard as Grimgor, but also has magical, fiery, bleedy attacks. And that's without the buffs that he, I'm sure, can activate. Have to deal with those Knights of the Realm, the Pegasus Knights, and a bunch of other smaller cab units, which I'm sure will be annoying. Got more Knights of the Realm coming in as reinforcement, more Knights Errant. I see a unit of Questing Knights in there, Henri Le Massif, so I guess, yeah, 3 legends we'll have to deal with. More Knights Errant from this reinforcement. It's gonna be a fun time, and we're gonna start off by charging those mounted yeomen and Knights of the Realm with our 2 war bosses here, and Luen will go right over them and try to go for Grimgor. Alright, Grimgor's gonna activate that Blood-Forged armor and start wailing away at Luen. And this will be a pretty neat matchup. We'll see how the two do against each other. Grimgor activating all his abilities, but his melee defense drops to 0 because of the Curse of Midnight and the Sword of Kurun. And Grimgor is down to half HP. Man, 0 defense. I haven't expected that on Grimgor. But he is hitting Luen back, and he'll be hopefully more okay now that he has 191 melee attack. Alright. Damn. 0 defense. If that ain't Orky, I don't know what is. Anyway, Grimgor keep on hitting Luen. The rest of the Black Orcs have to move around. It looks like Leuen's trying to get the heck out of there, rather than face off against Grimgor. Come on now. And, oh, what the heck? He just hit our Orc Shaman Grotzlik for an insane amount of damage as he charged towards him. It looks like he got a double hit in or something, because he dropped to, like, I don't know, a third of his HP in what looked like a single hit, unless I missaw something, but damn. Alright, we can't let Luen do that anymore, so we're gonna send the Black Orcs with great axes, as well as Grimgor, as well as everything, to bring him down. We're not losing our legendary mage like that. Spirit Leech comes down on Luen, Grimgor gets a few hits in, and he's down below half HP, and we're gonna give chase with the war bosses. In the meantime, of course, the rest of the battle is happening. Our Black Orcs are engaged, shielded, or otherwise in a, well, something of a front line, though at this point we've got a big old blob around Grimgor as they try to take down Luen. Rapunz has arrived on the field as well and is about to join the fray, probably to immediately activate her Halo of Maidenly Wrath. There it is on cue, Rapunz. Thank you for once letting me get something on cue. Alright, and Luen is booking it out of their. Spirit Leech on him now, though it looks like we won't be able to bring him down, and he may come back. Peasant mobs are, well, mobbing our piles of Black Orcs, but they're not really a concern, and we can probably kill, I don't know, tens of thousands of peasant mobs with the Black Orcs that we have. The knights are a much bigger issue, and a much bigger annoyance. I'm certainly feeling like I'm getting a taste of my own medicine here a little bit after my recent Bretonnia campaign, with the enemy doing all of that annoying cycle charging with those piles of knights. Now they charge in, they do a little bit of damage, we try to chase them all, but they just run away and charge again. Ooh, some nice air on some of those Gabo units, and we do have Gabos on the field that are part of the reinforcements, though there were very few of them and they were quite weak. And they won't last much longer anyway. Oh, and it looks like Luen is back trying to fight with Rapunz, who has been basically killed by Grimgor, and as we can see, Grimgor has recovered a lot of his HP, and due to his healing potion, I don't think either of these two have enough HP to handle him now. Especially with the war bosses helping out. Luen tries to book it on out of there, but Beaky and the Lion both go down. And very, very nice. And Rapunz is booking it on out of there as well. I don't know if she'll return, but, well, at least we brought down her king. 4 minutes in, we've still got a 50-50 roughly. In fact, it looks like the enemy has a slight advantage in their balance of power, mostly because of the sheer amount of units they have and the fact that there's 40 units on the field and more still to come via reinforcement. Man, what an epic fight. I am very much enjoying this. Black Orcs facing off against the Wardens of La Maison Tal and more Battle Pilgrims, although they don't probably do enough armor-piercing damage to do too much to our piles of Black Orcs. I love those big old choppers, watching them swing through the enemy ranks as well. Very nice, take an arm off. And a foot of Gork comes down in the background. Our mage nearly got insta-killed by Luen there, but he's alive enough to cast a few spells, and I'm sure that one hurt. Ah, what an awesome fight. Oh, another Halo of Maidenly Wrath just as we fly over. Can't really chase the enemy units too much, but we did manage to re-engage that unit of questing knights, and we do want to delete them ASAP as they are armor piercing, and, well, considerably more so than the Knights of the Realm and the biggest threat the enemy has on the field. Well, at least after Luen and co. The enemy also has a decent pile of yeomen and various peasant archer supports, but there's just no way that we can disengage from the knights and the battle pilgrims and whatnot to deal with them. Alrighty, what do you guys think? Best fight in this campaign so far? I think it's a pretty darn top contender. So many enemies, and unexpectedly as well. I certainly didn't think they'd attack us like this. And let's just check back on what's going on. The balance of power has shifted in our favor a little bit. We're at about 65%. Our backline is a little bit in trouble, and several of our units of biggins have been taking some big hits as well. We do have some minor reinforcements helping out, but they're the garrison ones, so they're at their 10% HP, and they're really not going to do too much. Grimgor and the war bosses are hunting the individual units of knights and lords and heroes as they can, so they're running around a little bit more than perhaps they would like, but at least they're knocking out high-value targets rather than just getting locked in, fighting things that like peasants, battle pilgrims, and whatnot. Our hag here has also been in the middle of the fray for pretty much the entire time, causing debuffs and generally annoying the enemies while fighting together with the immortals, who have been holding the center line of our entire army for quite the while at this point, and doing so quite well, as we can see by all the knightly and peasantly corpses below them. A nice pile of immortals, and it looks like their name is very apt indeed. Wardens of La Maison Tal and the battle pilgrims that went in to deal with our shielded Black Orcs are down to very low numbers, though it looks like more reinforcements of battle pilgrims are moving in to continue joining the fray. Another lord has been, well, not brought down, but at the very least forced to run, and we are still dealing with more knights running around. Black Orcs can, well, they're having a difficult time chasing them off. All we can do is hope to regroup and then allow the knights to come back, wherein we can kill them afterwards. Alright, over on this flank we got some mounted yeomen who got caught by the, or mounted yeomen archers I should say, who got caught by the Black Orcs. Although it's a little bit of a waste of all that armor piercing, and they're much better off using it against these questing knights instead. Is this a regiment of renown or just a regular questing knight? It's just a regular questing knight. I just had to double check. Oh yeah, they didn't have the unique barding of the regiment of renown, so yeah. Alright, keep trying to get those knights bogged down and destroy them, as many of them as we can. We've still got a fair bit of balance of power in the enemy's side, though it looks like they have finally run out of reinforcements to put onto the field. I'm getting curious to know how soon the enemy army will have suffered enough damage to, you know, have the army losses force a shatter on the rest of the army. Sans the battle pilgrims, of course. Although we can simply just butcher all the battle pilgrims, they certainly hit reasonably hard at 55 weapon strength, but with only 12 armor-piercing weapon damage, they're having a difficult time getting through that 145 armor on the Black Orcs. Looks like Grimgor and some of the heroes got surrounded by some peasants while they were trying to chase down the enemy lord, so we're just going to clear a path for them by knocking those peasant mobs out with a nice foot of Gork. Very nice. The peasants are done. How's the rest of the army? Starting to look pretty darn bad. In fact, I can see that the leadership bar, the balance of power bar, is shifting completely in our favor, and with that, Luen and Rapunzel's and Henri's army will finally shatter. Oh, as usual, the battle pilgrims will fight to the last, and as we were saying earlier, will get completely butchered by the Black Orcs. Though I'm sure the Black Orcs can at least appreciate them for giving a good fight and fighting to the last here. There we go. Ooh, alrighty. And as we can see, there's certainly a lot of damage on some of our units. We got half HP. This is a unit of Biggins that nearly got and destroyed. A lot of the Black Orcs, in fact, are down to around half HP, though I'm sure that they didn't lose quite that many models, and thus should recover. Now, this should also count for Grimgor defeating both Luen and Response, so he should theoretically have even more weapon strength. Pretty happy about that as well. Anyway, chasing is done. There was a little bit to do, but man, what a glorious battle. Oh, alright. Well, I can't say I expected Luen to suddenly show up this particular turn, but I guess show up he most certainly did. And we had to fight for our lives there a little bit. Let's see the damage, and it's not horrible. The Biggins took a lot of damage, but that's hardly surprising. The Black Orcs were still in a reasonable shape, at least with regards to their model count. Obviously, they did lose a lot of HP, but as usual, recovering via models is working out fairly well for us. And ooh, 69k damage and 700 kills on this one unit of Black Orcs with shields. Damn. Alright, I'm your unit 1, 2, 3. Alright, I'm gonna give you a name. You certainly have earned it. 359, very solid on this Black Orc unit as well. The various axe units also did very nice, though they were hunting enemy knights more than the shielded units were, which makes sense as to why they have less kills compared to the shielded ones. And Immortals also did reasonably well. We got some damage on the Black Orc big bosses and Grimgor, but they were primarily hunting stuff as well. And as usual, our Orc Shaman, though he came very close to getting insta-killed by Luen, and did manage to dish out some damage as well. Now, we could do ransom captives here, but I think we're going to want to destroy the remnants of these armies next turn, so I think we'd rather eat the captives. Hard to sacrifice 2,000 gold, but might be necessary. Eat the captives. Alright, and obviously a bunch of them will run away, but hopefully we can catch at least one or two and destroy them completely. Maybe if this one's close enough, we might be able to destroy multiple of them. Alright, Potion of Foolhardiness we don't care about. Charge bonus for Lord's Army, and recruitment costs for Cav faction-wide. Ain't too bad for Grimgor, and he's got that defeat trait for Response. Now, I take it that, hey, and he's got perfect vigor as well, and more campaign movement range, which I fear will also not work. Snotling Scavengers won't work on you because you're not a lord, and we'll transfer that to another lord as well. Grimgor, out of curiosity, we're still at 100 points out of 100, even though we just got even more movement range. Yeah, it's bugged. Oh no. He should be able to move twice as far, and he's not gonna. A shame. Trespass warning, get the heck out. So the question is, can you... I can't... Oh, these guys aren't actually close to each other. I think we'll have to forego killing this one because it takes too much movement, but we should be able to destroy both of these two with a quick little auto-resolve. I'm a bit wary of going to WAAAGH begin stance, so I'm not gonna. And we'll just auto-resolve you. Hopefully the giants don't take too much damage to that. And I'll take a little bit. And I guess you can... kill and eat, or ransom captives. It is a faction-wide for enemy territory buff, so it is a nice buff, and we do want the buff. I'm a little bit concerned about the fightiness, though. Nah, still eat captives. We're still going to have to auto-resolve again. Another Swindler, and another Swindler, and another Snotling Scavenger, and another Swindler. It's all Swindlers. Grab this army, or destroy this army. Auto-resolve it as well. And, yeah, okay, the giants are still okay. Don't want to lose the fightiness. Man, all of these little mini battles and our fightiness is just still not anywhere near to max. Gotta get that fightiness up. Control +5 all provinces. I think we're okay right now, and I guess we just keep on healing as we go, and getting more swindlers. We can sell those off for a couple thousand gold. I believe you won't be able to reach this army, unfortunately, nor this army, which might go for Forgotten, but I guess Spite can try to march stance over there, though his movement range seems to be bugged as well. And on top of that, we got Brag about to boss, so Spite should be getting the +40% and the +20%, and he is still 150, which is standard 100 plus the march stance, I guess. Man, did I perhaps overstack movement range, and that's what's doing this? It's really a shame. I was really relying on it. Oh well. What do we have here? A peasant mob pile, and I see no other units. Alright. Ooh, heck of a fight. We have probably nothing else that we can do this turn. There's a little bit of admin remaining. You, sir, I guess are going to have to move out. I mean, I guess we could go... This all attrition-y? There's no attrition here. Nah, I'm gonna suffer a turn of attrition anyway. I don't think it's escapable, so... Sorry, spiders, but it's the nature of your life right now, and away you go, and the other army is ready as well. Anyway, I think with that, I am going to call the episode here. There's a little bit of admin to do, which we'll take care of at the start of the next episode, and a few more moves to make with the other armies, but otherwise, it looks like no more fights left this turn. And next time, we will move onward towards Kurun as best we can with Grimgor's army, and deal with this while Spite tries to clean up a few of these extra armies. Gorkill tries to transfer those Crimson Killers to Grimgor, and then Spite starts working on the Sigmarsheim faction, with hopefully soon the arrival of Rachnik to help out with a little bit of spider action, so Gobos will be very numerous soon. Anyway, stay tuned for more Orky action. Hopefully you enjoyed that absolutely glorious fight against the Bretonnians, and Grimgor is up to 1.1k standard weapon strength now, without any buffs, so yeah. More legendary lords to slay. Anyway, don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.